Hello, students. You're welcome to another interesting and mind-blowing topic. Today, we will be looking at tectonic processes and major landforms. In this lesson, we will be studying the different landforms and also the characteristics of the various landforms. But before we dive into the lesson proper, let's look at a little bit of history of the Earth, how it was formed. About 5 billion years ago, that's a very long time, nebulas clad of gas and rock came together by gravity. We all know what gravity is. And it then condensed. Why they did that, the pieces of debris came and collided together. And by that collision, a friction occurred, and as a result of the friction of their collision, the rocks were heated and they came together, and then our planet Earth was formed, which was very young as a result of that collision. Its interior, hot from friction and decay of radioactive elements, reached over 5,000 degrees Celsius. That is the inner core. Slowly, the Earth's head developed a cooled crack crust called the lithosphere. Those cracks form the boundaries of series of crustal tectonic plates, and we are looking at tectonic processes. So, those plates were broken into 17 different pieces. Please pay attention to this. Now, those processes from the heat of the earth form the formation of the core, the crust, and the mantle. And the heat is still trapped deep inside the core of the earth. Those rising heat molten surface planets or plates started to generate some things together and some forces that pushes them together, and those plates started pulling apart as a result of the friction. The friction started expanding alongside those 17 friction crack on the earth, and what we call the dive was formed. And volcanic eruption occurring here started as a result of that same friction. Remember, the Earth's crust formed the lithosphere, and those form the protective plates. From the rising of the plates, the mountains started to rise, and on the Earth's crust, continents started joining together. That was what led to the different continents. As a result of the same tectonic plates, some parts of the continent gave rise to different earthquakes. When ocean plates converge together, they come together, volcanoes explode. That is why some countries have volcanic eruption. Apart from that, also tsunami drowned thousands of people because of the result of this plate. Now, let's look at the major landforms. Major landforms. What are landforms? What are major landforms? There are different landforms that we can find on the surface of the earth. Mostly we have that of mountains, we have valleys, we also have hills, plains, and plateau. At mountains, 1/4 of the earth's surface is land, which we live and grow our food on. We have 70% water and 30% land. But land is not the same everywhere because we have different structures, that is high, rise, and low plains. The different features are known as landforms, and they vary from one another. Let's look at the mountains. We'll also be looking at others as valleys, hills, plain, plateau. But let's take the mountains first. What's a mountain? A mountain is a landform that is very high above the land, and it has steep sides and a pointed top, which is called the peak. The peak is covered with snow. The tallest mountain in the world is Mount Everest. The snow of the mountains comes together to form the supply of water, and they flow through many rivers. In India, we have the river Ganga. Also, we have the Yamuna. These different rivers flow down from Mount Himalayas and they form a river in India. The large number of mountains form a mountain range. The Himalayas is a combination of different mountain ranges, and they have the tallest mountains in the world. Next, we'll be looking at hills. Mountains that are not very high are called hills with less steep sides, and one can actually get a nice view from them. People visit hill range because uplands are very cold, each stations are higher lands and always very cold. India also has a high hills of both the east and western borders, and tourists and people like visiting it because of the view and coldness of the place. Examples of those hills are the Komodon Hills, the Nilgiri Hills. These are all found in India. Next is the valleys. Valleys, on the other hand, are lowlands between hill and mountains, and rivers run through valleys. In India, again, we have so many beautiful valleys, which we have like some of the Caspian Valley and the Silent Valley. Plains, on the other hand, are large flatlands that often have soils around them, and these soils within the plains are very rich in mineral and very fertile. The soils make the plain to grow crops because of the fertility of the soil. Plain also gives support to roads, railways, and houses because they are flat lands and also the most populous regions where people can build on. People can live mostly on the plains, unlike mountains. India has a very large number of plains on the northern parts, e.g. we have the Punjab, we have the Delhi, we also have the Mes Bank, we also have the Ria, we have the Ayana, and also they are all in greater places of the world. With this, we have come to the end of the lesson. Please do well to ask your question if there are any, and ensure you attempt your quiz. See you in my next class.